I guess the Kenyans have it. Anyway, let me get back to my lesson here before I get in trouble. The world at large is dealing with both the urgency, and in some cases, the emergency of change. The urgency is global. The urge and itch is personal, at least with me, and perhaps many of you, most of you. How to scratch the itch and urge is the challenge. Some change is automatic and some is voluntary. I'm in my 50s, and there are automatic changes occurring in my body physically, and I have nothing to do with them. More than any other time in my adult life, change seems to be a conspicuous constant with me. My body, my bones, my joints, my hair, my heart, and even my hearing. Now my sight, my views, my visions, my perceptions, my perspectives. What are the voluntary responses to automatic circumstances? How do you deliberately respond or even react to things that happen randomly in your life? You do so in the spirit of pure, naked, fragile hope. Hope, like change, is also an urge, and sometimes it's urgent, especially in a hopeless situation. The lecture today is titled, The Urge and Urgency of Change. Urge means to present, advocate, or demand earnestly or pressingly. To stimulate, provoke, advance aggressively. An urge. If you have an urge, you got to get up and run out of here quickly. And everybody you see that gets up and runs out, they got an urge. That's why they leave it. Sometimes that urge becomes urgent. On the other hand, urgent means calling for immediate attention. It is pressing and insistent. It involves impulse and import or importance. Change seems to be the urge of the moment. Its urgency demands consideration. The entire universe seems to be both commanding and demanding, even maybe commandeering change. It has become the operative word of the day. It is shocking, it is surprising, sometimes it is unexpected, but it is ultimate. Everyone, even those resistant to it, are squirming and churning with it. We're all trying to adjust to, and in some cases, adjudicate. That means to settle legislatively, change. Many of you who've been at all souls all these years, if you sat in these front seats, by the time you get here, they're already full. And it's common. I've been pastoring for 27 years, so I know church folk get used to their same pews. You think you own them pews. And some of you do own them pews. It's like sitting at the same place at a dinner table. I usually do. And if I don't sit at that place, it seems like the food tastes differently. It's psychological. When you upset the norm, it takes deliberate adjustment. You have to adjust on purpose. To 27-year pastor of the same church that I founded and changed the name and moved my precious congregation across the city, trying to find a place to worship, trying to handle paying the bills, and for every other person you meet and say, oh, hi, Bishop Pearson, I used to go to your church. I think, who didn't anymore in this town? Don't tell me that no more. But then I have to say, oh, well, really, when did you go? And some of them say, well, I was raised in your church. You baptized me. You counseled me. You did my wedding. You buried my loved one. And now I'm thinking, it's changed. It's different. I'm the same in many ways, but I'm also different in many ways. You're the same. Turn to the person next to you and say, I'm really glad that you don't look like me. Tell them right quick. And saying while we're on the subject, I'm kind of glad I don't look like you. Again, everyone, even those resistant to it, are squirming and churning with it. It's happening without our permission. Change rules, but seems at times to have none. It seems somewhat autocratic, change does. Even automatic. Change has a mind and a motive of its own. It can even seem impolite, indelicate. insensitive. It does not ask permission, but operates only by commission. The universe within the time continuum both demands and commands change. Needless to say, change imposes questions, even if it sometimes refuses to answer them. Job 14:1. If a man dies, sometimes I say, if a ministry dies, if a person, if an idea, if an ideology dies off, shall it, he, she, revive? Can it live again? He goes on to say, all the days of my appointed time I will wait. The word is yakal in Hebrew for wait. It means to hope patiently till my change comes. All the days of my appointed time, all the days allotted to me, I'm going to hope for renewal. At this stage in my life, I am renewing, redoing, and in many ways, re-knowing myself. I'm getting to know me all over again for the first time. There it is again, pure, naked, fragile hope, our friend and sometimes our perceived enemy when deferred. All the days of my appointed time, I will hope, I will wait for my change to come. Hope deferred or delayed or prolonged makes the heart, Scripture says, grow sick or weary or weak, wobbly, flimsy, inconsistent. Change. The word in Hebrew means alternation, alternative, alteration, transition, change of course, sometimes change of cause. In the Greek, the word change means to make different or to make else, to make other than, to make more than, to make some other or otherwise. When's the last time you were something or someone else? Not a fake, not an imposter, but an evolved person. When do you remember being aware of a personal evolving or evolution of the self and soul? Apart from your insignia, apart from your signs, apart from your names and labels. Have you ever seen yourself through the eyes of someone else you have become? Because if you're not evolving, you're stagnating. And you forgot about the power and the brilliance and the sparkle of change. The challenge and the choice to change. I talk to people everywhere who are dealing with the challenge and sometimes the choice to change or transition. And in most cases, they're afraid or intimidated by the very prospect of it. They all have the same question Job has. If a man dies or dies off or dissolves or transitions, if I change, will I revive? Will I revolve? Will I evolve? Will I be again? Not who I was, but will I be? Who will I be? Who will care? How will I be? The question or prospect of resurrection has always existed. Can I do this again? May, or will I have another chance at this? What if I strike out the first time? Do I get another chance at batting? Do I get another chance at being? All the days of my hard service, he says. King James says, all the days of my appointed time, my accumulated time, my personal campaign or challenge of amassing things, property, buildings, reputations, friends, people, stuff, passions. All the days of my working, I will wait for my renewal, for my change, for my chance, for my release, my unleashing, or my unlashing to come.